What if the very science we trust to catch killers was wrong? And not just once, but over and over again. This isn't a story about a clever criminal outsmarting the system. This is the story of how the system outsmarted itself. Today, we're diving into a case where forensic science didn't just fail, it lied. And a man paid for it with 33 years of his life. On September 14th, 1982, in Newport News, Virginia, a brutal crime unfolded inside a quiet home. A man, armed with a tire iron, broke in during the night, assaulted a woman, and murdered her husband. There was no clear suspect, no fingerprints, no murder weapon left behind, but there was one clue. 2 bite marks. It wasn't DNA, it wasn't blood, it was dental impressions, a supposed smoking gun that would change everything. Police turned to forensic odontologists, specialists in analysing bite marks on skin. They compared photos of the victim's wounds to dental molds taken from a Navy sailor stationed nearby. His name, Keith Allen Harward. Keith had no criminal record, no motive, and no connection to the victim or the crime scene, but 2 forensic experts claimed that his teeth matched the bite marks. That's all it took. In 1983, Harward was convicted of rape and murder. The bite mark testimony was the centerpiece of the case, and even though 6 other dental experts disagreed with the match, only the 2 the prosecution brought to court were heard. No DNA testing, no other physical evidence, just bite marks and expert opinion. For the next 33 years, Keith Harward sat in prison, denied parole, denied appeals, denied the chance to prove what he had said from day one: I didn't do it. In 2015, the Innocence Project picked up Harward's case. This time, the bite marks wouldn't be enough because DNA technology had finally caught up. They found DNA on the victim's clothes, and it wasn't Harward's blood, it was a different sailor, Jerry Crotty, now long deceased, who had a violent history and had never even been questioned. Bite mark analysis sounds scientific. It has charts, molds, measurements, even diagrams, but it was never peer-reviewed science. It wasn't even standardized. For years, courts accepted it based on expert opinion, not hard evidence, and that's where everything went wrong. In the 1970s and 80s, prosecutors loved it. It gave them a clean visual to show juries, this is the bite mark, and here are the teeth. But here's the truth. No one told those juries skin isn't a stable surface. It stretches, it swells, it bruises, and bite marks can be wildly misinterpreted, even among professionals. In one study, forensic odontologists were shown the same set of mark. Half said it matched, half said it didn't. That's not science. That's a coin flip. In 2016, Keith Harward was officially exonerated by DNA evidence. The court acknowledged what he knew for over 3 decades. He was innocent. He filed a civil suit against the state. He won. But how do you repay someone for losing 33 years of their life? The 2 bite mark experts who helped convict him, they never apologized. One of them still defends the testimony to this day. That same year, the President's Council of Advisors on Science and Technology released a report. It found that bite mark analysis was fundamentally unreliable. Yet courts across the country had already used it to convict hundreds of people. Harward's case wasn't an outlier, it was the canary in the coal mine. Here's where the story turns, because years later, a Freedom of Information Act request revealed something disturbing. The Virginia State Crime Lab had been warned about bite mark analysis just before Harward's conviction. Internal memos showed lab officials questioning its scientific basis. One memo read, "Bite mark comparison is subjective, not validated, and not reproducible under peer review." But they didn't stop using it. They didn't even warn defense attorneys. They let it ride. When Harward's lawyers asked for this information during his original trial, they were told it didn't exist. This wasn't just a forensic failure, it was a cover-up, and it cost a man half his life. When Keith Harward was released, he didn't just walk away from a prison, he walked into a system that still doesn't fully admit it was wrong. Despite being exonerated by DNA, despite the collapse of bite mark science, and despite decades of internal warnings, forensic odontologists still testify in courtrooms across the US today. Some states have banned the use of bite marks, others haven't. Innocent people are still being convicted by what many scientists now call junk science, and it's not just bite marks. Hair analysis has led to wrongful convictions, so has fiber evidence, so have tool marks. The truth, much of what we've seen on crime shows say, doesn't hold up in court anymore. Keith Harward could have died in prison. He lost his parents while behind bars. He never had a chance at a career, a family, or a normal life. He got out at 60 years old with nothing, because the science that put him away was never science at all. In the end, it wasn't the killer who fooled the justice system, it was the forensic method used to find him, the bite mark that matched, the experts who insisted, the lab that stayed silent. It all painted a picture, but the picture was a lie. Science belongs in courtrooms, but only if it tells the truth, because when it doesn't, the wrong man goes to prison and the right one walks free.